Whispers in the wilderness. The crackling flames of the campfire cast dancing shadows on the tent walls, creating a cocoon of warmth in the heart of the dense forest. My friends and I, eager for an adventure, had embarked on a camping trip to reconnect with nature. Little did we know that the wilderness held secrets that would turn our night under the stars into a harrowing tale of survival. As the night settled in, the forest came alive with the symphony of nocturnal creatures. The air was thick with the scent of pine, and the only light that pierced the darkness emanated from our modest campsite. We huddled around the fire, swapping stories and laughter, blissfully unaware of the whispers that lingered at the fringes of our reality. As midnight approached, a subtle shift in the atmosphere unsettled our camaraderie. The crackling fire seemed to dim, and an unnatural stillness gripped the forest. My friends exchanged nervous glances, and the flickering flames cast elongated shadows that danced with an eerie grace. A distant rustling echoed through the trees, the sound of footsteps that seemed to approach our campsite. We dismissed it as the nocturnal wanderings of wildlife, but a whisper carried by the wind caught our attention, a whisper that seemed to call our names in haunting repetition. "Stay," it urged, the voice both ethereal and menacing. Unease settled over the group as we scanned the perimeter of the campsite. The trees, their branches reaching toward the heavens, seemed to conceal unseen eyes that watched our every move. The fire, now a feeble glow, struggled against the encroaching darkness, attempting to dispel the growing tension. We stoked the fire and laughed off the unease that clung to the night. Yet, as we settled into our tents, a chill seeped into our bones, and the whispers intensified. From the shadows, a figure emerged, a silhouette draped in tattered garments, its hollow eyes fixated on our campsite, and a spectral hand gestured toward the heart of the forest. The whispers transformed into anguished cries, a chorus of voices that seemed to echo from the depths of the wilderness. Driven by a morbid curiosity, we ventured into the darkness, guided by the phantom figure that beckoned us toward an unseen destination. The trees closed in around us, their branches forming a canopy that swallowed the moonlight. The forest, once a sanctuary, became an otherworldly realm where reality blurred with the supernatural. The whispers grew into a dissonant cacophony, the voices overlapping in a chorus of despair. Each step took us deeper into the heart of the haunted wilderness, where unseen entities seemed to revel in our descent into the unknown. Abruptly, the figure disappeared, and an ominous silence enveloped us. The air crackled with an energy that seemed to vibrate with unseen forces. Panic set in as we realized the forest had become a labyrinth of shadows, its parts shifting and distorting with an unnatural malevolence. The trees seemed to contort into grotesque shapes, their branches reaching out like skeletal fingers that clawed at the fabric of our reality. Desperation fueled our attempts to find our way back to the campsite, but the wilderness resisted, trapping us in a nightmarish maze. As the first light of dawn touched the horizon, we stumbled back into the campsite, disheveled and shaken. The whispers, now distant echoes, lingered in the air. A haunting reminder of the night we ventured into the heart of the haunted wilderness. The forest, once a place of natural beauty, had revealed a supernatural underbelly, a realm where shadows whispered secrets, and the boundaries between reality and the unknown blurred. Our camping trip had become a chilling journey into the depths of the haunted wilderness, leaving us forever haunted by the spectral voices that lingered in the whispering pines. The whispering pines. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting long shadows that reached out like ghostly fingers through the dense thicket of pine trees. My friends and I set up camp in the heart of the forest, eager for a weekend of camaraderie and nature's embrace. Little did we know that the whispering pines held secrets that defied the tranquility of the wilderness. As night fell, the crackling campfire became our beacon, its warm glow pushing back the encroaching darkness. The air was thick with the scent of pine needles, and the distant hoots of owls added to the serene atmosphere. We laughed and shared stories, blissfully ignorant of the impending descent into horror. A rustling in the trees caught our attention. We dismissed it as the nocturnal stirrings of wildlife, but the rustling persisted, growing into a haunting melody that seemed to resonate through the forest. It was as if the pines themselves were whispering secrets in a language known only to the trees. Curiosity getting the better of us, we ventured into the woods, guided by the spectral symphony. The moonlight filtered through the branches, casting an ethereal glow on the pine needle-strewn ground. The whispering intensified, morphing into indistinct voices that seemed to beckon us deeper into the heart of the forest. As we ventured further, the air turned icy, and an oppressive stillness settled over the trees. The campfire's glow flickered ominously, casting elongated shadows that danced with an unnatural rhythm. The pines, now spectral sentinels, stood like silent witnesses to an ancient ritual that played out beneath their boughs. The voices in the wind coalesced into whispers of forgotten tales, a chilling recount of a cursed tribe that had once inhabited the whispering pines. Legend spoke of a malevolent spirit that sought solace in the forest, trapping unsuspecting wanderers in a spectral dance that transcended the boundaries of the living. A sense of unease gripped us, but an unseen force urged us forward. The whispers guided us to an ancient clearing, where gnarled trees formed a circle that seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. In the center stood a decaying totem, its grotesque carvings telling tales of ancient rituals and forgotten rites. As we stared at the totem, the whispering reached a crescendo, and the forest came alive with spectral apparitions. The cursed tribe, their eyes vacant and bodies ethereal, materialized down us. The air shimmered with an otherworldly glow as they danced to the haunting rhythm of the whispering pines. Panic seized us as we realized we were trapped in the spectral dance of the cursed tribe. The forest seemed to close in, the spectral figures reaching out with translucent hands. The voices in the wind transformed into anguished cries that echoed through the ancient trees. Desperation fueled our escape. We stumbled backward, the dance of the cursed tribe encircling us like a malevolent tempest. The pines seemed to whisper warnings, their branches reaching out as if to shield us from the impending doom. With a final surge of adrenaline, we broke free from the spectral dance. The clearing faded into the darkness, and the whispers retreated into the depths of the whispering pines. We stumbled back to the campsite, the campfire now a feeble glow against the encompassing night. The forest, once a haven of tranquility, held the lingering echoes of the ancient curse. As we retreated from the whispering pines, the haunting melody lingered in the air, a chilling reminder that some secrets were best left undisturbed. The pines continued to whisper tales of forgotten horrors, their voices carried by the wind as a warning to those who dared to venture into the heart of the spectral wilderness. The pines that whisper. The decision to go camping in the remote woods seemed like the perfect escape from the monotony of city life. My friends and I, eager for adventure, set up our tents in a secluded clearing surrounded by ancient trees. Little did we know, the whispering pines held secrets that would turn our camping trip into a descent into terror. As night fell, we gathered around the crackling campfire, its warm glow dancing against the encroaching darkness. Laughter and camaraderie filled the air, but as the embers dwindled, an unsettling silence settled over the forest. The pines, tall and imposing, seemed to lean in as if sharing an ancient secret. A chill ran down my spine as I heard the first whisper, a soft, disembodied murmur that rustled through the leaves. I dismissed it as a trick of the wind, but the whispers persisted, growing louder and more distinct. It was as if the very trees were communicating with one another, exchanging stories from centuries past. Unease settled over the campsite, and the laughter faded into an uncomfortable quiet. My friends exchanged uneasy glances, the once lively atmosphere now tainted by an unseen presence. We brushed off the unease as collective paranoia, attributing the whispers to the natural sounds of the forest. As we settled into our tents, the whispers intensified. It was as if the pines carried tales of forgotten tragedies, the voices of spirits lingering in the shadows. Sleep became an elusive escape, and my dreams were haunted by indistinct faces and distant wails that seemed to emanate from the very fabric of the woods. In the dead of night, I awoke to a symphony of whispers outside my tent. Curiosity mingled with fear as I unzipped the flap and stepped into the moonlit clearing. The trees, their branches intertwined like ancient storytellers, seemed to exhale the secrets of a forgotten era. A figure emerged from the darkness, an ethereal presence that moved with an unnatural grace. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly luminescence, and its voice, a haunting melody, beckoned me deeper into the woods. Compelled by an unseen force, I followed, the whispering pines guiding me toward an unknown destination. The forest became an ever-shifting labyrinth, the moon casting long shadows that seemed to dance along the twisted paths. The whispers transformed into mournful cries, the air thick with a spectral energy that clung to my skin. I realized that the pines were not mere trees. They were conduits for the spirits of the forgotten, their voices seeking solace in the living realm. The figure led me to a clearing bathed in an eerie glow. The moon hung low in the sky, its reflection shimmering in a tranquil pond. Shadows gathered at the water's edge, their faces distorted by the ripples. I stood on the precipice of a realm, where the veil between the living and the dead wavered. The whispers crescendoed into a chorus of anguished souls. Faces emerged from the shadows, each one a testament to a tragedy buried in the annals of time. The figure beside me, its form shifting between light and shadow, spoke of a pact made by those who once roamed the very woods we camped in. As dawn approached, the spectral gathering faded into the early morning mist. The figure, now a distant silhouette, gestured toward the campsite. The whispers, softened by the first light of day, carried a sense of both sorrow and gratitude. I stumbled back to the clearing, my friends still lost in the embrace of sleep. The whispering pines, now mere trees bathed in the morning light, stood silent. The camping trip had become a communion with the spirits of the ancient woods, a journey into the realm of the forgotten. We packed up our tents, the clearing now devoid of the spectral presence that had woven itself into the fabric of the night. As we left the forest behind, the whispers lingered in our memories, a haunting reminder that the woods, like ancient storytellers, carry the weight of untold tales, waiting to be heard by those who dare to listen.